Hi everyone, I'm Laura Salazar from the English 2 course, and today I'm gonna be a traveler who is ready to explore the world and share a real adventure with you. I want to invite you to travel with me, not physically but through a virtual experience that will help us discover ideas for a perfect getaway. In this presentation, I'm going to share my plans for my next dream vacation to Cinque Terre, which is a stunning coastal region in Italy that has been on my bucket list for many years. So I want you to fasten your seatbelts and start this exciting journey with me. As we move forward, I'm going to share my travel ideas for this vacation. I want to show you how we can organize every detail to turn this dream into a meaningful reality, including some elements such as the budget, accommodation, the travel dates, the activities, the documents, and the required items. This will help me not only to succeed in my next vacation plan, but also to have a journey filled with learning, growth, and fun. To begin with, my next vacation plan is to visit Cinque Terre, which is a colorful area surrounded by cliffs, crystal clear waters, and beautiful flowers everywhere you go. Regarding its location, this destination is located in the Liguria region in northwest Italy, and I can say that it's considered one of the most important attractions in the country. It's known for being a stunning area with 5 small fishing villages right on the coast of the Italian Riviera, attracting many tourists every year. But why did I choose this place? I picked this destination because it offers a perfect balance between nature, culture, and relaxation. I believe that traveling there will be like a breath of fresh air, as it's a great way for me to step out of my routine and stay active. As you can see, I have 3 main reasons why I'm considering Cinque Terre for my next vacation. First, I want to see the colorful houses, the architecture, and try the local food, as I've been curious to learn about how the region evolved and understand more about its culture and history. Furthermore, if I visit this place, I will be able to explore 5 villages that offer a lively atmosphere where people can enjoy and practice all kinds of outdoor activities. As I'm a big fan of hiking, I'm very excited to hike the trails that connect the villages and take photos of the scenic views and landscapes as a way for me to feel energized and healthy. And needless to say, visiting Italy has always been a dream of mine. I really want to experience the magic of these places and meet people while learning about the Italian language and the culture. When it comes to my trip information, I'm going to stay at the beautiful and all-inclusive Hotel Margherita with my parents, siblings, and my grandmother near Fedina Beach, which is one of the largest sandy beaches in Cinque Terre for us to sunbathe. Our trip is scheduled from May 10th to May 24th, so we will have around 2 weeks to experience everything there. We decided to go during spring because it's not as expensive as the summer and the weather is much more suitable for hiking with fewer crowds. Besides, I'm really looking forward to the season as it allows us to enjoy all kinds of outdoor activities like swimming and feel comfortable when visiting other areas. My 14-day trip follows a very special route. During day 1 and day 2, we are going to arrive in Setolene, as I think it's crucial to rest and get familiar with the surroundings after the long flight. On my 3rd and 4th day, we are going to explore the colorful houses and visit the first villages. If we wake up early, we will catch the best spots around the hotel and the main landmarks to take pictures. For day 5 and 6, my family and I are going to hike the famous coastal trails, where I'm sure the views will be absolutely breathtaking. By day 7 and 8, we are going to take a ferry tour in order to enjoy the sea breeze and see the cliffs from the ocean. Then on day 9 and 10, we are going to relax by the beach, and if the sun stays out, we will swim and snorkel to discover the marine life as long as it's safe for us. During day 11 and 12, I'm going to visit the local markets to buy souvenirs with my family And finally, on the 13th and 14th, we are going to go sightseeing and do some exercise before we leave. If we have enough money, we will probably visit Florence or Rome after our stay. However, our main destination is definitely Cinque Terre, as is the perfect place to start our Italian adventure. But before we make this a reality, I want to break down my budget for you, so let's continue finding out together. From my perspective, an important part of planning this trip is to organize my budget. So I'm going to estimate my expenses carefully for me to travel without any setbacks. As you can see in my journey receipt, the total investment for the trip is 9,500,000 pesos. To start with it, the biggest expense is going to be the flight and transportation with Avianca airline, which costs 4,500,000 pesos approximately. Regarding accommodation, I have budgeted 2,700,000 pesos for our stay at the Margarita Hotel because we want to make sure that we are close to the main attractions. When it comes to food, I'm saving 1,600,000 pesos to enjoy meals and traditional dishes like the Italian pasta. Additionally, my parents have set aside 800,000 pesos for travel activities like the ferry and the hiking tours that we've already discussed. And finally, we have around 400,000 for any unexpected needs that may come in the way. I think if we manage our money wisely, we will be able to enjoy the experience without worrying about finances. And I also believe that being organized with these numbers is the key to having a more successful vacation. So now that I have my budget ready, let's talk about the essential documents that I need to carry. Before I go to the airport, I'm going to double check the travel requirements through a very careful research. I'm going to make sure that I have all my documents ready and updated. If I don't have my bookings and authorizations organized, I might face some delays at the airport. And that's when I'm going to keep a digital copy of everything on my phone, so in case if the physical papers get lost, I will still have like a backup to have all the information available there. I think if we are organized, we don't have to worry about problems at the migration desk too. And for this reason, I've prepared like a checklist for the most important things I need to carry for my trip. In the first place, I'm going to bring my Colombian passport and very importantly, my proof of funds. Since Italy has strict entry rules for tourists to travel, if I don't show enough money for my stay, they might not let me in. And following that, we are definitely going to have our boarding passes ready to avoid any delays at the gate. In terms of safety, we will buy a premium travel insurance with some savings we have gathered so far, because if we have travel insurance, it will give us peace of mind and we can also feel more prepared for any types of emergencies that we may experience during our trip. Regarding the logistics, my parents are going to keep all the hotel receipts and vaccine certificates as part of our effort to keep track of everything. And finally, I will keep my ID and airline tickets in a safe place, probably in my carry-on bag to ensure they don't get lost. Once everything is prepared, my journey to Cinque Terre will finally begin. First, I'm going to set off from Pereira to Bogota. I'm doing this because Bogota's airport offers like international flights that will allow me to reach Italy better compared to Pereira's airport, which only offers domestic flights within the country. Specifically, I'm going to fly to Rome and then I will travel by train to arrive at Cinque Terre on time. I think this is a beautiful opportunity to go sightseeing and explore more places as the train moves forward. While I'm on the train, I'm going to take photographs and feast my eyes on the 5 beautiful villages, including Rio Maggiore, Corniglia, and Monterosso al Mare. I'm sure that if I travel by train, I will have the best views of the Italian coast. But what if I arrive at my final destination? Once I arrive in Cinque Terre during my trip, I'm going to consider all the options that you can see here for transportation. First, I'm going to use the ferry to see the sunset from the sea because I think it will be a magical experience if I do it. After that, I'm going to hike through the famous Centeria Azzurro trail to connect with nature. And then to reach my accommodation, I'm going to take the local bus to the hotel just in case I can't pay for a car or taxi service. Regarding other alternatives, I want to be flexible. For instance, I will probably rent a bicycle to explore the small streets at my own pace. Additionally, if I want to visit the nearby towns, I think I will rent a car for a short road trip. The reason why I want to try all these methods is because if I use different types of transport, I will be able to enjoy like every place of this beautiful region and meet more locals too. When it comes to my accommodation, we are going to check all the hotel details on the website and we are going to choose a comfortable and cozy room at the Margarita Hotel, specifically one with a sea view where I can enjoy amazing sunsets and recharge my batteries every morning. Depending on the availability, I will probably stay here or find a similar spot through Airbnb. However, I'm convinced that if I book in advance, I will have more options to secure the specific hotel. Furthermore, I ought to double check the facilities because we are looking for top quality services. For instance, we are going to look for free high-speed Wi-Fi to stay connected. And of course, we want to enjoy delicious Italian breakfasts and dinners every day at the hotel. Now, let's talk about my favorite part of the trip, which is the food. And to experience Cinque Terre to the fullest, I've also planned my ideal meals. To start my mornings, I'm going to visit a small pastics area right by the sea, and I'm going to order a traditional breakfast. I would love to have a hot cappuccino and a freshly baked cornetto, since I'm sure this meal will boost my mood and give me all the energy that I need for a long day of hiking. In fact, if I have a delicious breakfast like this, I will definitely feel ready to explore all of the places. For lunch, I'm going to stop at a traditional trattoria, which is basically a cozy Italian restaurant with a sea view. I think you cannot visit Liguria without trying the famous trophy al pesto. And for those who don't know, trophy is a special type of handmade pasta from this region, and it's the most iconic dish here. I'm certain this meal will be my favorite part of the day, and to make it even better, I'm going to have a piece of warm focaccia to enhance and enjoy all the flavors. And finally, to finish my day, I'm going to have dinner by the harbor. There I'm going to order fresh seafood pasta while watching the boats passing by, as I think the atmosphere will be magical under the sunset and the stars, and I can enjoy food better. I'm certain with all of these flavors, I will have the best way to connect with Italian culture. And if I try these local dishes, I will truly experience the cuisine and learn about the dishes that are popular worldwide. During my stay, I'm going to make the most of my passion, which is taking photographs and collecting life memories. If I take pictures of my trip, I will be able to tell meaningful stories about my journey and remember all the lessons that I will learn along the way. But first, I need a planned itinerary to ensure that everything goes perfectly. So let's check our top activities here. So before I travel with my family, I've picked some amazing activities that I want to share with you. First, we are going to take a pesto making class to learn about the traditional recipe and discover some secrets of the perfect sauce. Because this dish kinda mixes ingredients that allow it to be fresh and delicious for many people around the world. Since we love adventure and nature, we are going to hike the trail to Cornelia to enjoy the iconic views. In addition, we are going kayaking along the coastline to explore some hidden caves. I believe that if we go kayaking, we will see the villages from a completely different perspective, because kayaking and canoeing are like interesting sports where people can have fun, feel the ocean, and it's very peaceful. Regarding local culture, we are going to visit the open air markets to find handmade crafts and local olive oil, which is really famous here. We are going to participate in social events with locals, especially in an event for wine tasting, which is a practice where people can try different local wines and learn about the grapes. Besides, we are going to rent a private boat for our tour. There we are going to see the sunset from the rocks in Rio Maggiore and meditate while connecting with nature. Besides the activities I mentioned before, we have a special itinerary for the 5 villages that I want to visit, because my adventure also involves visiting them. Since I'm going to be outdoors most of the time, I will definitely need my hiking boots, my sunglasses, and my sunscreen to enjoy the sun in a healthy way. Between these visits, I'm going to take some breaks and listen to music to enjoy the small things that the place offers. I'm going to soak up the sun by the Mediterranean, and of course I'm going to eat gelato, lemon sorbet, and Monterosina cake, as I'm craving to try all kinds of sweets that Cinque Terre offers. I'm also going to write about the experiences in my personal diary, and other activities that I'm going to do during my trip include exploring colorful streets, buying local souvenirs like handmade ceramics for my friends, attending cultural activities, visiting natural parks and green areas, and if I'm brave enough, like my mother, I will probably try paragliding to see like the entire scenery from the sky to top it off. Also, I have other landmarks on my mind that I want to visit. Aside from the Centeria Azzurro, my family and I are going to explore the ancient tower to see the panoramic views at the Doria Castle. Plus, we are going to see the architecture and the art at the Church of San Giovanni Battista, which is a very popular place that amazes many tourists for its beauty and peace. And we are going to walk up to the Santuario di Montenero to enjoy the fresh air, as we believe that travelers should visit this place to see the ocean from the top. And more than just a travel itinerary, I want to make the most of my trip and understand more about the local traditions. That's why I also plan to break the ice and speak with locals. For this, I'm going to learn some daily expressions and phrases in Italian to say hello or thank you to the people in the villages. Also, I want to learn about some famous songs and traditional dances in Cinque Terre, such as the Manfrina, which is a traditional folk dance from the Liguria region. I believe that if I learn about music, I can have a better way to connect with people in Cinque Terre and understand more about their roots. Now, you may be wondering how I'm going to arrange everything to stay connected and stay organized during my trip. And from this point, I think that my phone will be like my best friend, as it's like my tool to keep myself updated and connect more with people. First of all, I'm going to rely on Google Translate and Maps as my primary apps to navigate the narrow streets and communicate effectively with locals without getting lost. About transportation, I'm going to download Trenitalia to arrange all my train tickets. And if I'm in a hurry among destinations, I might use eTaxi to request a ride quickly. Regarding my stay, I'm going to keep my Booking and Airbnb apps ready to manage my accommodations and check my reservations whenever I want. I'm going to use my social media websites to stay in touch with my friends and family too, as I want to share every moment on Instagram and TikTok, so if I post photos, they will feel like they are traveling with me, and these memories can also stay alive for the long run. Regarding my daily plans, I'm going to check the PN5T app every morning, as it will provide me with real-time updates about the trails, so I will know exactly which paths are open for hiking. Besides, I'm going to look into Get Your Guide to book a boat tour along the coast, and to ensure we eat like locals, I'm going to use TripAdvisor and The Fork, because these applications will help me make my adventure much smoother, and they will also allow me to find the best places and restaurants, especially those that are famous for the seafood. But applications aren't everything for me, because in order to be prepared, I've created a packing checklist based on my itinerary. First of all, I'm going to bring my most comfortable sneakers and cotton socks to avoid any blisters, as I guess that we will walk a lot for hours between the villages. To stay hydrated and save some money, I've also decided to carry a reusable water bottle to enjoy the views while I take care of myself, and I think I will include my camera and extra batteries so I can capture every single landmark and colorful house that we find in our way. I can't forget my sunglasses and my sunscreen to protect my skin while I enjoy the beaches. I'm also going to bring a small backpack for the hiking trails, so it will be much easier for me to carry all my essentials during the trip. And now let's talk about outfits. As you can see, I'm going to pack that favorite white dress along with my fuchsia sunglasses. Besides, I will bring a straw hat to protect me from the sun, and of course, I'm gonna pack other clothes to be ready for every occasion. In my suitcase, I will include colorful items like my pink tops and striped t-shirts, which are perfect to put together for a fresh look. I'm also bringing comfortable pants, shirts for the boat tours, and some cozy pajamas for the night. I think I will also take some light blouses, a scarf for the evening, my favorite sandals to walk near the beach, and a light jacket for the ferry rides because the sea breeze might be a bit chilly. To wrap up my packing, I'm going to bring my toiletries and personal cosmetics to ensure that I have everything that I need. If I pack efficiently, I will avoid carrying unnecessary things, and I will also stay organized throughout my journey. For example, I'm going to pack travel-sized shampoo and conditioner to save space, and I'm definitely bringing my makeup bag with my favorite lip balm and mascara. Since I want to stay connected, I will include a power bank and a universal travel adapter, which is really essential for European plugs. Moving on to my trip preparation, I'm going to pack a complete health kit because taking care of myself is really important. Just to be safe, I'm going to include some painkillers, prescribed medications, and antacids for any stomach issues, as I often come down with sinusitis and gastritis. When it comes to protection, I'm going to carry hand sanitizer, face masks, tissues to keep everything clean. Additionally, as you can see, I'm going to pack some herbal teas to relax before I go to sleep. And I'm also going to take my travel vitamins to keep my energy up. I can't miss my skin creams, towels, and sunscreen because the Italian sun can be very strong. So I think that if I have all the essentials ready, I will feel safe and prepared for any situation that might happen. I believe that if I travel with everything that I need, from my health kit to my favorite outfits, I will be able to focus on the experience more. And this journey is more than just a vacation. For me, it should be the start of an adventure that will broaden my horizons and change my perspective. But before we go to our destination, I would like to mention a couple of things that we need to keep in mind for our safety, as I think if we are safe, we will feel more confident to travel around the villages. In my case, I'm going to save the local emergency number and our hotel address in my phone contacts. However, I'm also going to keep a paper card in my wallet with my emergency contacts, just in case my phone battery dies while I travel and I get lost. Regarding our belongings, I will always keep my money in a secret pocket inside my backpack to stay safe. When it comes to walking around, I will always pay attention to the signs, and I will always choose well-populated and safe areas. Specifically during the evening, I'm going to be next to my parents and I will not walk alone. Besides, we are going to check the map carefully before we leave the hotel. This way we will walk safely through the streets without looking lost, even if we don't have a tourist guide with us. When it comes to safety measures, I want to emphasize something, and it's that exploring with care is the best way to enjoy my trip if I want to make the most of it. As you can see, I must always stay on the marked trails during our hikes to avoid any accidents. Since I love photography, I will be aware of my surroundings at all times. If we ever feel lost, we can always ask the police or even the locals for help. it's crucial to take precautions. So I've decided that I must carry a digital physical copy of my passport to feel safer. On the other hand, my family and I should always check the weather forecast every night before we go out because it might rain unexpectedly in the mountains. So if the weather is bad, we may decide to change our plans for the next day to avoid any risks. And as for letting people know about my plans, I'm going to share our itinerary and hotel addresses with my uncles and cousins. Every time we arrive at a new village like Vernazza or Manarola, we will send a quick WhatsApp message to our best friends or our other family members to let them know that we are okay. I've also decided that I should create a family chat group where I can share our live location at any time. We might also leave a printed copy of our full schedule at home with my relatives, just in case that someone needs to reach us urgently and our phones are turned off. And I also think I will definitely call my family every night to tell them about our adventures and experiences. If you take a trip like this, I have some essential tips that I want to share with you. To start with transportation, you must validate your train ticket at the green machines, because if you don't do it, you will get a fine. In addition to the walks, you should start your day at sunrise, because if you do so, you will avoid the heat and the crowds before noon. However, you should also keep in mind that the paths may be slippery when it rains, so you ought to wear good hiking shoes in case that you want to walk through the villages. Besides, you should be kind to locals and you must be respectful of the local environment. If you take stones or sand from the beaches as souvenirs, you might face legal trouble. At the same time, you shouldn't wear flip-flops to walk on the Manarola rocks, as it could be very dangerous and you may slip over. Finally, you may want to enjoy the local cuisine outdoors, so you should book your dinner tables in advance, especially in Vernazza if you want to enjoy a delicious pesto pasta when seeing the sunset and releasing stress. I believe that the best way to experience a new culture is by talking to people who live there and communicate properly. For this one, I've prepared some polite questions that I can use when I meet locals in the streets. For example, if I'm hungry, I could ask, I was wondering if you could recommend a local restaurant nearby. Or if I need to move between towns, I could ask, could you tell me how often the train runs? And since I want to make sure that I don't miss my adventures, I might ask a local, do you happen to know if the main hiking trail is open today? And when we reach the viewpoints at sunset, the atmosphere should be perfect for meeting more people. In those moments, I could ask other tourists or locals more specific questions, such as, I'd like to know which of these restaurants serves the most traditional seafood pasta, or could you tell me if there is a better spot nearby to watch the sunset together? Since we want to explore the coast from the water, I might also ask, do you know if it's possible to rent a small boat for a quick tour around the cliffs? I think that I will be able to learn things that aren't in the guidebooks if I ask locals directly about Cinque Terre. Besides, if we are polite and friendly with these questions, we will definitely make new friends and have a better social experience. Now we've reached the end of my trip planning that I'm sure it will be so exciting, unforgettable, and transformative. This journey is not only about visiting a new place, but I'm also going to broaden my horizons by learning about the beautiful culture and the rich history of Italy. I'm sure that if I travel with an open mind, I will return home with a new perspective on life. Finally, to create this project, I used many resources and readings to ensure that I had all the information available. These references helped me plan every detail of my adventure while improving my English skills. So thank you so much for your attention and for traveling with me through this presentation. I hope you feel inspired and ready to go, chill out, and have the time of your life at Cinque Terre and consider it for your next vacation. Arrivederci.